Power-ups. What do you guys think when you hear of the word power-ups? Me personally, I think of power-ups in terms of video games. You know, those things that will make you stronger or faster and also better. Now, although there are no direct counterparts in real life, there are, however, things that act in a similar fashion. With the quote, "Don't talk to me before my coffee," we can tell that for some people, coffee acts as their power-up. By drinking coffee, they are more functional, they are empowered. Now, this is one type of power-ups. It is the power-ups that you consume. There are, of course, other types, such as things that you utilize, like running shoes, which empowers your running abilities, or actions that you do, like studying, or even cheating. These two actions, well, they will power up your academic skills in their own ways. And I do not condone cheating, by the way. So with this example, we can tell that not all power-ups are positive in nature. And I can say this confidently. Why? Because when I was younger, several years ago, I was miserable, or at least I thought I was. There was nobody that I can call as a true friend. And I had no interest. I wasn't interested in music, in sports, or in anything. And most of all, I was bullied. I was left alone and pushed around by other people. And this brought me down. I cried myself to sleep. And this also brought hatred to my blood. And the effects are still affecting me now. So, how do I cope with this? Well, I came to video games. When in real life, I was just a boy who's weak, who has no goals, and slow. In video games, I can play as the characters who are strong, who are fast, who are loved by others, which I yearned to be. I wanted that, and this acted as my power-up. It empowered me, it made me happier. And out of all of the games that I played, there was one game that stood out the most. It was Dota 2. Now, some of you would know this game, and it is very addicting for me. I played this game a lot. Now, some of you may think that playing 8 hours in a game is a long time, or perhaps 26 hours, or 50 hours. Well, yes, that is a long time, at least for me. But it's nothing compared to my playtime on Dota 2. So I played this game for hours every day. As I went home from school, I would open my laptop, launch the game, and play until perhaps 3 or 2 a.m. That was how bad it is. And overall, it accumulated over 1,800 hours. That equates to 2.5 months. I wasted 2.5 months of my life on a single video game, playing alone in my dark room. And this made me happy for some reason. So with these hours that I spent on this game, it affected me. It brought me negative effects. So firstly, well, I had no social life at that time, but it made it even worse. Sometimes my classmates would invite me to birthday parties or hangouts, and instead of joining them, I would make up a stupid excuse like, "Oh, I have no transport," or "I'm busy," even though in reality, I would only just stay home, lock my room key, and then play Dota 2. Instead of hanging out with my friends, I played an online game alone. Aside from that, it also affected my grades. With my 2 hours of sleep time every day, I was bound to just fall asleep during school. So I fell asleep constantly. I can't concentrate. And also, I procrastinated. Instead of working on my assignments or studying for a test, I would just play the game, as always. And, well, this brought me down. But worst of all, my relationship with my family was worsened. So usually, my parents would call me to eat dinner, every evening. But I would tell them, oh, please wait for a while. This is an online game, I can't pause it. And at first they accepted it, they were fine, but as months went on and I kept on saying this exact same thing, they grew tired of it. And it eventually reached the point where they bought this book. This book roughly translates to Smart Ways to Handle Your Game-Addicted Child. And I wanted to make my parents proud, but when I saw this, I just felt ashamed. They see me as that kid over there holding onto his controller, and just like that. It was shameful. And I was like that. I always played games, and well, this woke me up. It made me realize, and I stopped playing. As you can see in this chart, which is the time I played. So I played a lot, and I took a break. I stopped playing in May of 2016. However, you can see that I went back to the game anyways. And as I went back, it was even worse than before, because during those times, it was during my HCIS exams, or O-levels, as some of you may know it. And yeah, instead of preparing myself for the exams, what did I do? I played the game, alone, in a dark room, from morning to night. And when the mock exams rolled out, and my predicted grades came out, I just saw it. I saw my grades, and I was ashamed by it. I was disappointed in myself. How could I let this happen to myself? So what did I do? I realized again, for the second time, I uninstalled the game, and this prevented me from playing for quite a long time, as you can see over there. And yes, this condition that I had does not only apply to video games, it applies to everything else. It can be, not only games, so it can be, because too much of anything is never a good thing. It can be something as obvious such as addiction to drugs, smoking, or alcohol, or something more subtle, something less obvious, like addiction to food, like you're overeating, or perhaps you shop too much and waste too much of your money. Now, this may not seem like a explicitly bad thing, and it may act like it empowers you in the short term, but however, in the long run, the consequences will catch up to you, and you will feel the effects, and it will bring you down, such as what I felt. And this is really crippling to your life. So, what should we do? What should we do to prevent ourselves from this? First, we can socialize with our friends or family. Just talk to them, you know. It may seem trivial, you're talking, but by talking, you can distract yourself from whatever you're addicted to doing. They could even give you more reasons to stay away from your bad habits. And secondly, you can also simply prevent yourself from doing it. As with my case, to prevent myself from playing Dota 2, I uninstalled it. So I can't just double-click it on my desktop and open the game. If I wanted to play, I had to press install and confirm. So I need to double-think. It took me some time to think, and it helped me prevent. Another example would be if you're addicted to perhaps shopping. So what can you do to stop yourself from wasting money? You can store your money perhaps in a bank. So instead of just opening a wallet, taking out the money and buying that branded clothing that you probably don't need anyways, you need to withdraw the money from the bank. And this extra step, this extra process will slow you down and can make you rethink your decisions. And aside from that, you can also find, you can find new interests. You can find better interests. And I'm proud to say that it's been over 10 months since I played Dota 2. And although the urge is still in me, and I still want to play sometimes, I still haven't played the game until now. And why? Because I had my family. I had my friends. And music. it supported me as well. So, by removing yourself from this negative power-up, your addiction, by creating new habits, perhaps you can be the power-up. Thank you.